friends, hello. We have got an interesting little mini kind of reading today. I always say mini and then it never is mini, so better watch out. Oh, we've got it's all wrapped in love light and light love. And we're going to do a little pick a card. We've only got 2 piles on what are the messages you're missing. So when I'm recording this, if you watch this when it drops, or if you're listening or watching this, it's timeless, whenever, there's something going on in your world right now, especially in the astrology. Get yourself something good to drink. Got my creativity cocoa. There's stuff going on in the astrology right now that is causing all sorts of upheaval and ascensions stuff and uncertainty and angry people. It's affecting people differently depending on, you know, how much you do your spiritual practice, how in tune you are with what's going on, how you're able to control your own emotions and stuff. But this is going to be an interactive tablescape. So things may come in, things may leave based on the reading. It looks like this Mexican fire opal egg wants to make itself known right now. Ooh. All right, I know I just got black all over my fingers from touching the candle wick. It's just one of those days. So we're gonna pick your pile right now is what we're gonna do. So I've got 2 piles. I'm gonna pick a bottle cap. We've got the caramel corn candle going. We've got all sorts of stuff up here we may use, but let's get a bottle cap. There's no mirror in mirror today. I really do enjoy that. I was going to use that table and then I was like, no, I'll just come over here. So we've got the bottle caps. Let's get a bottle cap for pile number 1. So pile number 1 is going to be think positive. Pile number 2, there's 2, is Corona Extra. So I equate this to the crown chakra or Corona. It could also have to do with solar flares. So Corona Extra, I know that's happening a lot right now. And then the Smirnoff one, which I believe is like 2, it looks like union, like 2 eagles. What are you trying to focus on? Freaking thing. 2 eagles or something with 1 crown. Yeah, it's an eagle, and a crown on top of the 2. All right. So, and when I'm recording this, Mercury is just getting ready to go in its shadow retrograde period. And I'm sorry, but I've already been feeling it like this whole week about this doing stuff and do-overs, like do this. Oh wait, something didn't happen right, but I got to do it again. So let's pick your piles, either pile 1, pile 2, or maybe you want to listen to both. It's up to you. And I will see you in your pile. Hello, pile number 1. Hello. So this wants to come in for you, this smiley face, and this is a sticker from my happy planner. I can't get it out of the plastic right now. See, I'm telling you. Let's put that there. And you had the Think Positive bottle cap. And the paper that you chose, I went through, what I did for the 2 papers is I just randomly flipped the Bohemian Animal Tarot and put my finger down and took the words that were underneath my finger. And so yours was thought and behavior. So let's see what decks. Oh gosh, see, we're all into this summer-ween stuff. So they're wanting me to get the Trick or Treat Tarot. And number 1, you know, everybody's always like when it's hot, I feel like there's like hot heat either coming to you in the body, like, I don't know, maybe a lot of passion and fire and desire, or there's just heat around you, like it's warm in the northern hemisphere, it's going to be hot, you know, in different places. There's little heat waves everywhere. There could be wildfires, and you could be feeling fire of your own some way or another. I don't know, but thought and behavior is part of, and so we're talking about what messages are you missing. So maybe you're just riled up about stuff and you're missing some messages that are trying to get through to you. And even with signs all around you and stuff, maybe you're just really busy and you're not seeing these signs. So we've got think positive, we've got thought and behavior, and let's get, so maybe there's like some cooling off energy of like the fall, you know, we're only like 3 weeks away from first harvest, Lammas and Lunasan, August the 1st. So I'm like, oh my God, 2024, what are you doing to me? Right, it's already going to be the eighth month. All right. So let's see what the tarot wants to tell you about thoughts. Maybe that is part of it. 2024, what are you doing to me? Let's hold on to that for a minute. The card that came out is Page of Cups. Yeah, look at her. It's all water energy. She's all like, is she a jellyfish or a man of war? There's fish. Her dress, it looks like it's like a jellyfish costume. Let's kind of see if we can. Do I want to zero in on anything? I don't think I do. I think I just want to. The bottom of the deck is, yeah, the Eight of Pentacles. You're working hard. I mean, look at, is that Cruella? Oh gosh, is that a Disney? Disney's been following me around lately, but look at how hunched over she is with all those responsibilities. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think you need to be, it's hard to get messages when you're working so hard on whatever it is. I think it's just daily life. You know, it just sneaks in and there's becomes all these things you have to do and take care of and manage. And they're like, you can yeah, all right. You can delegate that if there's other people in your reality that you can delegate stuff to. And the guides are like, your angels can help you, even if there's nobody else around to help you. Oh, how do they do that? So let's say you're the only person around that can do these things that need to get done. How are your angels or your guides giving you signs that there's stuff you can delegate? Because we're talking about thoughts and behavior. And they're saying, well, number one, the way you approach these tasks has a big bearing on how you feel about them and the experience that you have as you're doing them. So that's very true. I think, as I always say, like, how can, especially if it's something I don't want to do, I'm like, how can I make this more fun? Even if it's, everybody I think has some stuff that it's like stuff you don't really want to do, but you have to do. Gosh, a really cool car is going by. Oh my gosh, it's one of those muscle cars I'm telling you about before in whatever our thing we did. So I think it was Bring Her to the Light Sunday. But how can you bring more levity to what you're already doing? So maybe it's tasks you can't offload to anyone. What can you do to have more fun with those tasks? Okay, so let's get an oracle then. And I don't know, that's going to be different for everybody. For me, it's usually music. If I can bring in music, put my headphones on and get this thing done or whatever, and then, you know, just pick whatever music appeals to you. I like many types of music, and so I will pick just based on how I'm feeling in the moment. I may want something like fast and hard, you know, like some heavy metal. I like a lot of metal. I grew up in the British, whatever, the 80s and 90s. Metal music was my thing. I like pagan music. I like some country music. I like some Christian music. Some of it. I like, pop music. I like all types of music. So let's just see. But just pick what you like. Get that favorite playlist going and see how much faster and how much less daunting it will be. All right, let's see. What does that oracle have to say? These are signs. This is stuff you're missing. Signs you're missing. Messages you're missing because you're too busy. So portal. Oh, wow. Portal and crossroads came out together. Whoa. So you have crossed the threshold, they're saying. And so it's like you've walked through the door and you're coming up on this crossroads. Look at the colors too. They're very, very similar. Crown chakra, heart chakra with the pink and the purple. Third eye, we're all in the upper chakras here. Okay, so what is this crossroads energy for pile number 1? Like, what is it that's happening? It sounds like you're getting a bunch of messages that you've crossed a threshold and you're in this like waiting area, standing there looking at this signpost and trying to decide which way to go. Now, is this something trivial? Like, do I want chicken salad sandwich or a sub sandwich or something? Or is this something more life-changing? They're saying it's both, because this new chapter, this new portal is offering you a lot of new options and new opportunities that you didn't have before. And I think part of it too then is you get a little bit of analysis paralysis, because maybe you're used to only having one choice or two choices, and now all these choices, because of the energy that's opening up to everyone on the planet, not just you, everybody, it's bringing in rewards for you, pile number 1. But what happens when you've been used to being like constrained in a sense with maybe having to deal with less responsibility, less choices, less whatever, when a bunch of choices suddenly open up to you, you can get a little overwhelmed. And I saw this yesterday. There's a new channel I love to watch. It's her and her husband. They're super enthused is the channel, and they do all sorts of there's many of those channels out there, but I really vibe with Jackie and Sam. And they they do road trips. They live in Orlando. They do all the Disney reviews. They do the Disney cruises and all that. But they were on a road trip from Florida to California. I was like, oh, I want to take that road trip. I've done road trips many times. I've never gone across like that, especially from east to west. Other than like Texas to California, I've done many, many times. But they went to Vegas, and the last one I'm watching each day, I watch a little video, but they went to Vegas and they did the Bacchanal buffet at Caesar's Palace, which I've been to Vegas 2 or 3 times. I'm not really a gambler, but I went to Caesar. Is Caesar's the one that has the dolphins, the Siegfried and Roy? I don't remember. I remember we went and did that. But anyway, they went to the Bacchanal buffet, and she was like, oh my God, it's so overwhelming. Because the buffet says come in and go through and look at everything and then make your choices. And she was like, I just can't do that. It's too over. She's like a sensitive soul like me. She's like, I just couldn't do it. It's too overwhelming. There was too many choices and I felt like I couldn't choose. So I just went through and picked some stuff. So here's what you have to do. Here's what happens here. Your advice is, when all these choices open up to you, first of all, take it as a sign that things are getting better. It's an early sign and significator that things are changing for the better. And it'll start out with little things changing for the better, and it's going to slowly open up to big changes for the better. So it's not anything to get worried or overexcited about. But I think when you're a sensitive soul, stuff like that can just, I don't know, it just gets, I don't know why it gets overwhelming, but it does. You know what I think it is? I think it's fear of making the wrong choice. fear of making the wrong choice. You've probably been through some dark nights of the soul, or many dark nights of the soul, or, you know, one big, long, cantankerous dark night of the soul that's been on and on and on and on and on for who knows how long. And maybe it started out with something that you felt was like a choice that you made that caused this dark night of the soul. And so you felt like you made a mistake. And so there's a little bit of post-traumatic trauma from this dark night of the soul, remnants of it left over in your chakras that need to be cleared out, because nothing you did was a mistake. Everything was meant to happen the way it should have happened. And so any thoughts about making a mistake are kind of, you know, it's kind of like something that should be clear. They're saying we should do like a deep chakra cleanse. So I'm eating marshmallows out of my hot chocolate. Okay. Stuff that needs to be cleansed is 12:12 on the timer. I would ask your guides right now. Let's ask the guides right now, because we're talking about this, so the energy's out there. I want to call in the angels, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Haniel, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Uriel, to come in and help clear. They're saying it's the root, the solar plexus. I think it's like all the chakras need a deep cleansing right now. And the aura, just clearing away. This is like preparation for what's to come, because you can't get freaked out every time you're presented with a lot of choices. Every time your life expands now, because it's expanding, not contracting, you can't get freaked out every time you've got a lot of choices to make, or things to choose, even if they're good things, for whatever reason, right? So we want to clear that energy out. So let's just take some deep breaths. And with angelic Reiki, I'm more of just the space holder. And we call in these angels to surround you and come in and kind of clear up your energy field from this fear of making mistakes, fear of making the wrong choice, these fears of, maybe there's fears of missing out, fear of getting it wrong, fear of moving backwards, they're saying. So there's even this fear of like, oh my gosh, what if this whatever happened to me happens again? Oh, holy crap. You know, trauma stuff has got to be cleared out before you can't keep going. So let's let that come through. And then they want me to go to the graveyard deck. And we're going to get, as they're clearing, they're just working around you. There's nothing you really need to do other than be receptive to the healing. So I'm going to use the embroidered graveyard. Now my fingers have marshmallows dust. All right, let's see. Any other advice for pile number 1? Okay, I've got 2 cards. Whew, it is warm. I don't want to turn on any more fans right now. It's very humid. So the cards you got are, oh my gosh, Sacred Rage. What did I tell you about the heat? Sacred Rage. And I can't read this one, so I'm pulling it up. It came out with this other one. It's Grandma. Sacred Rage and Grandma. How is this advice? Grandma. Sacred Rage and Grandma. Card number 8. Oh, and card number 62, which is an 8. There's something going on. This is like a Lionsgate prep as well. The work we're doing here is preparing you to step through Lionsgate. I don't know if Lionsgate is this big crossroads. They're saying it's not. It's 2 different things. It's 2 different portals, but you're still being prepped for Lionsgate. So which card do you want me to read? Sacred Rage or Grandma? They're saying you can take a look at either one. All right, let's look at card number 8. So I do read from the book for this because the book is really, really good and very beautiful and very sparkly. I'm in a tight spot here. I'm in a tight spot. See, it's hard for me to maneuver here. It's a very beautiful book. Card number 8. Sacred Rage. Your ancestors have seen the ancestors twice. Well, this card's mainly an ancestor. Your ancestors have seen the circumstances that have led you to the feelings you're experiencing now, and they sympathize with you. Ask them to work with you through this so that you can emerge from this time wiser and stronger. All emotions are valid. They all need space, so please don't bottle these up. Use the healing feeling spread combined with the shadow work journaling ritual. You will overcome whatever you're going through, and until then, practice self-kindness and patience. It says, ever got angry enough to speak up, sign a petition, or protest? Ever been so jealous of what a friend has that you made yourself sit down and do the work so you could have it too? Turn your anger into action, your grief into movement, and your jealousy into inspiration. It's okay and human to feel 100% of the emotional spectrum. It's what you do with it that counts. Oh, look, back to the thought and behavior on your thing and the think positive. See? And I think the grandma card, let me just go to it just in case there's anything else they want to say in the book. It's definitely, obviously, it's a grandmother archetype energy coming through. It's a grandmother spirit coming through to advise you. So this grandmother spirit says there's more to the situation that you currently aren't seeing right now, but grandma can sit with you whilst you discover it. She asks you to be patient and kind with yourself. You have the ability to be deeply intuitive and to understand your emotions and mind on such a deep level. It just takes quieting the internal chatter. Meditate and calm the mind. Get quiet and be present with the body, and let information bubble up from within you. Yeah, I think whatever's going on right now in your world has got your emotions all riled up. Internally, externally, you know, whatever. It's just a matter of keeping your energy clear. If you're on this channel, you should know how to do that. But if you don't know how to do that, call your guides, call the angels, ask them to help you with that. Sometimes they can get to the root of something deeper than you just saying, like, clear my energy or waving your hands around, especially if you're not really clear on exactly what you're doing. Yeah, there's different levels of people here. I think some are very adept at energy clearing and others are a little bit more, you know, surface level stuff. And it's like, we're not talking about surface level stuff here. We're not talking about that. We're talking about going a little bit deeper than that. So you may have to call in your guides to help you do that. But I think it's the message is very, very clear. There's messages all around you 24/7, and you can choose to partake of them whenever you need them. I mean, they're everywhere, and anything you look at could potentially be a message. But if there's messages you're wanting or messages you feel like you're needing and you feel like you're not getting them, some of the clearing we did here will help. But you're going to have to keep on top of that, and you're going to have to just chill a little bit and know that things are okay. Things are getting better. Everything's fine. Nothing's wrong. Nothing bad is going to happen. And the messages that are coming to you are showing you very clearly, your guides are saying exactly what your future reality is going to look like for you. So just pay attention to the signs and know that they're yours. They're meant just for you. They're not random sightings or something like that. They're meant for you. So pay attention to the signs. And if you're not clear, you know, start documenting signs that you see, especially what we call here parrot guidance, where you get the same, if you definitely get the same messages more than once over and over and over again, then don't discount that. That's obviously something meant for you. You know, pay attention to those signs. Let me see if there's anything else we have for pile number 1. Okay, they're saying that is it. And so I'm going to move on to pile number 2. So Thank you so much for joining me here, Pile 1 friends, and I might see you somewhere else in the astrals at TLC for the Soul or in the next pile. So be good, take care, think positive. Peace out. Pile number 2, thank you so much for joining me here. You chose Smirnoff. It's like the 2 eagles with the 1 crown on top. Corona Extra. I just took a drink of and your paper. Okay, on the papers, what I did is I went into I just drank something that like made my throat feel weird. The Bohemian Animal Tarot, I just randomly flipped, excuse me, and put my finger down and chose the words that were under my finger. Okay, something's going on with your throat chakra. And the words under my finger were a creature capable of full aerial flight. How does this play into your reading? Well, you already have 2 eagles. We're working with the crown chakra mainly here. We've got 2 crowns. Okay, let me get some more. I took this drink right before we started, so I seem like we're mainly working with the throat chakra here. Okay, where do you want me to start? I think they want me to draw the same cards. So we're going to work with the Trick or Treat Tarot and find out what's going on with you. Whoop. Things are falling on the floor. So this topic of this reading is, what messages are you missing? What are messages that are trying to get through to you that you may be missing because you're too busy, or I don't know, because who knows, maybe your head's in the clouds. We're using the Trick or Treat Tarot for a little whimsy right now. It's early July 2024 when I'm recording this. You've got 2 cards, and everybody tends to get in that Summerween, or I've already started seeing the countdowns to Halloween, 16 Saturdays or 18 Saturdays or something. I'm like, it's crazy. Okay, got 2 cards. You got Temperance. I like this Temperance card. Look at that crown chakra. It's very active up there. I almost thought this was the High Priestess, but it's Temperance. Oh, and the Chariot. Card number 7 and card number, was that 14? So you've got an amalgamation of 7s. Card number 7 and 14 is 2 7s. 7, 7, 7 or 14. A creature capable of full aerial flight. What are the signs that you're missing because you're too up in the air? So in this case, then, I feel like you're too up in the air and you're not grounding enough. You're not grounding enough. A creature capable of full aerial flight is all up in the sky, up in the ethers, up in the higher realms all the time. And so what are these signs then? Let's pull from the City of Dreams Oracle. Pile number 2 is missing something because they're too head in the clouds. They're trying to think too much thinking. Let's see. Oh, this is weird. This is kind of almost the same message as the other pile, but kind of in a different way, because this is like this card is another card about you're entering into a new portal. You're entering into a new timeline. It's on the bottom of the deck. Oh, weird. Eyes on your own paper. Comparison. This is that whole analysis paralysis again. What's going on here? What messages are you missing? Okay, so they want me to use a little bit of a different deck. Which one? The romance deck. Okay. So we're pulling in the final Rose Tarot. We did not use this deck in pile, the other pile. What's going on with pile number 2? Oh God, great. The Meathead, Knight of Mirrors. This is like Knight of Wands energy. The Meathead. Even I feel a little bit, I don't think blocked is the right word. I feel like brain fog. Okay, brain fog. Why is there brain fog? The ascension process. Okay, so this is more of a little channeling. So the ascension process is causing your crown to really expand. They're saying right now, what's going on for you is a major upgrade in your upper chakras. The crown, the third eye, and the throat are being rapidly expanded to allow for higher levels of communication with the spirit world. And as such, I think you've got a little bit of like brain fog because of it. It may feel like you've got like cotton in your head or your head in the clouds kind of feeling. And let's just go to this See You on the Other Side book, the book. Initiation, taking the leap, new experiences. Nothing was the same. Taking the first step into the unknown isn't always easy, but it's required in order to make changes. There may be a celebration waiting for you on the other side. See you there. Okay. Nice. What's with this Meathead card? This Meathead card is kind of temporary energy. So, what did we say it was? Knight of Mirrors. Impulsive, primitive. Oh yeah. Action oriented. This is my like this is my like want love, must get love card, like caveman kind of card. This dense Casanova isn't the brightest in the bunch. He exudes a primal masculinity, and his strong, beefy arms certainly feel safe and warm as they wrap around you in a protective embrace. His goals are simple: want love, find love. And the charm of his action-oriented ways and simplistic views is easy to fall for. What you see is what you get. He's handsome and uncomplicated. He will fight for your honor and could be a hot lover, but ultimately this feels more like a temporary fling. Okay, so I think this is just saying this is temporary. There may be somebody like that in your reality. Oh gosh, wow. Yeah. This Temperance card is somebody that's like mixing a drink. What are the signs showing? I think you are moving forward. I think you are. They want me to get one more card. Okay, well, what deck? Yeah, I'm really feeling whatever is going on with you, because it's like I can barely think straight. It's like I've got channeling coming through, but it's just like going through all of this, like, like it's going through mud. Going through the mud. Okay, let's get the Vision Quest Tarot going on. My dog is right now. I never took off her little mosquito shirt. Okay, girl, we need to do that. What's going on with this? Is pile number 2. I don't know if I said pile number 1. Maybe you're coming from the same. Maybe you're watching the same piles. You got Son of Earth. Veggies, fruits. You could really be working on yourself too. Like, that's a hot body right there. No matter the gender. Because this is having me look like at the prana and the air. the fruits and vegetables, or vegetables, like more like root vegetables. It looks like a mango or something there too. Let's, oh, candle hot. Don't go there. Son of Earth. Let's just see. And then we're going to see. I don't think you're missing messages. I think you're just having a hard time. Like, I think that all the messages are there. I think what's happening for you with the brain fogginess is you're having a little bit of trouble maybe interpreting the messages. That's definitely what it feels like here. Kind of like the messages are all around you, but I think you're kind of like, yeah, like this cat in the hat. And it just looks so weird. Like so kerfluffled. All right, Son of Earth. Let's just look at this. Trust, serenity, being considerate, enjoyment, love of nature, endurance, earthiness, faithfulness, sometimes too inflexible, complete ripeness. The fruits of internal and external labor are yielding a bountiful harvest. You are the beneficiary. Share this wealth with everyone. You will enjoy your success even more if you include others. Satisfying results are achieved. Your work is shaping up nicely. You have invested your energy in a worthwhile manner. It is all right to be proud of yourself for once. How else can one learn to appreciate what anyone has done? It is important to acknowledge yourself for a job well done. You have placed a seed into the ground, faithfully tended to it. Nature's power has allowed it to grow, and now you're harvesting a ripe fruit. This image does not pertain to the physical plane alone. Yeah, I think you're fine. I think you just need to chill out a little bit and maybe stop. Maybe you're overthinking messages, overthinking the messages that you're getting and the signs that you're seeing. And I think that maybe you're afraid that I think there's a little bit of this too in this pile. Like you're afraid now they're going to clear my head and let me get these messages. You're afraid you're going to go backwards a little bit. Like, oh, I worked really hard for this hot body. What if something happens to me and I lose all that again? Or, I've worked really hard on my health. What if I bounce back and something goes wrong? I've worked really hard on my addictions, and what if I'm tempted to get back into that lifestyle again? Look, she looks like she's like, come have this drink. Yeah. I think you're just a little bit all over the place, pile number 2. I think you're going through some major upper chakra upgrades. Everything's fine. Everything you've worked so hard to achieve is not going anywhere. Whether it's wealth, health, or whatever it is, everything's fine. This airy in the head feeling, I think, is making you feel like knocked off balance a little bit unsure of what the messages are actually showing you. I think you're very receptive to signs and serendipity and synchronicity and all the magic that's all around you. But I think right now, because of whatever these chakra upgrades are that are going on, you're just having a little bit trouble interpreting the messages. And so, if somebody shows you here's the example they're giving me. This is what I'm saying. If somebody shows you this temperance card, you might be like, oh crap, am I going to go to a bar and be tempted to start drinking again? There's just, what is this telling me? It's like, wait, what? Why would that even happen? Is that what your intention is? And then that's why I thought this was the high priestess, because it's like, is that your intention to do that? And it's like, well, no, it's not your intention. So if it's not your intention, I think you've worked really hard to clear all these as seeds of addiction in your chakras, so they don't just magically come back. You'd have to do something you'd have to make a really bold move to make that happen again. So if it's an addictive behavior, no matter what it is, you've done a whole lot of clearing to get rid of that. So addictive behaviors live in the chakras just like everything else going on. They actually, when it gets to the level of addiction, they become like negative entities in your auric field, and they kind of feed off of like wanting more of something, more alcohol, more cigarettes, more food, more whatever. These addictive entities kind of come from within and come from without. That could be like a whole show in and of itself. That's kind of like pranic psychotherapy too, like clearing some of those. But you've done all that work. You're not at that. You're not there. All those little entities and stuff that were causing you to have these addictive behaviors are gone. So they don't just show up overnight again with like a full-blown, like bender or something. You'd have to really be out of balance to do that. Hence the temperance. It's like you know how to bring yourself into balance with whatever it is. I kind of have that too. Like, when I was younger, I used to drink a lot. And like every day, because I was around someone who was a huge alcoholic. It was really kind of sad to see them go down like that. But they drank every single day. I knew them for 18. They were in my physical reality for 18 years, and out of the time that I knew them, the 18 years, they drank every single day. And they drank at least a 12-pack a day, and sometimes 2 12-packs of beer a day, in addition to other drugs that they were doing. And so by that time, they were totally, the entities around them of addiction, and they had addiction in their ancestral line, were basically consuming them from the outside, inside out, the outside in kind of thing. Maybe that's where you're coming from, but I always kind of say to myself, like, okay, like, am I ever going to go back to that? Because I left that reality, and I got pregnant with my son. And the moment I found out I was pregnant, I was like, I will not drink again. And so that was a catalyst for me, and I never really did. And now with the spiritual work that I do, I can't really drink alcohol anymore because it causes me to become very ungrounded very, very quickly. So there's no way I could go back to that level of what I was doing before. I was drinking like, I would come home and I would drink like quarts of beer. Was it quarts? Quarts, like the big ones, the huge. And I would have like one, or I would drink like a bottle of wine like every day. But I was around. See, you're adjacent. Proximity is power. You're adjacent to that behavior too, like stay out of bars, stay away from people that are in that behavior. If you're afraid of going back to some sort of addictive behavior, number one, stay away from anybody else that's doing that, because proximity is power. But also you know how to handle yourself too. Like I think I can sit down with somebody who's drinking and not feel like, oh my God, I've got to pour myself a whole glass of wine or something. You are in control of that reality. So you're not going to go backwards where that's concerned, no matter what area is, your health, your eating addiction, your drug use, your alcohol use, whatever it is. You don't just go backwards that quickly, because you know how to control that now. So, just, you're fine. All is well, they're saying. And I think you're misinterpreting the signs because you have a little bit of like trauma from these past things. Maybe just still like, I think yours are more memories. Like, remember when I used to like go do, I went on that bender and I, took that bottle of tequila to the coast and sat out by the water and drank it all and went and randomly like hooked up with somebody. I don't know. These are not my personal experiences. Maybe they're yours. So maybe it is a sexual addiction. I don't know. So you're fine. You're absolutely fine, I think is the big message for you. And the sign, the signs that you're being shown are very high vibe. So there's no, your guides are not foreshadowing like, oh, you're going to do this again. So I think you need to be very, 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 very clear with what you're looking at. And if signs are overwhelming you right now, because they very well could be, then you just need to tell your guides to tone it down a little bit with the signs, because maybe there's too many signs because of the big opening of the crown and the third eye right now that's happening. It's happening for a good reason, because you're going to use this expanded spiritual connection for your soul work moving forward. You're going to be helping others with that. So your spiritual connection needs to expand. But in the meantime, you know, maybe just have them tone down the signs a little bit. You don't need so many signs right now. You're fine. Everything's fine. You know, it did happen to me the other day too, this rubber washer thing. It looks like a little rubber washer. We're gonna get you anything else, but hold on. This little rubber washer kept falling. There was more than one. It just kept falling on the floor. Here's another one. It kept falling down, and then I went to another area of my room and another one was on the floor. And so I was like, what is this washer? What does this mean? What does this mean? And they're like, everything is not a sign that needs to necessarily be interpreted as something going on or something you need to know about. Sometimes a freaking rubber washer just falls on the floor and it's fine. You know, everything's okay. Maybe it's a sign for somebody else, you know, maybe you just need to pick it up and throw it away. You know, everything does not have to be so deeply interpreted, because you may be missing out on other fun stuff by way of doing that. Okay. And I think you've received too, like, plenty of signs of what's going on in your world. You're a master magician with this high priestess energy of this card, even though it is the temperance card. You know what you're manifesting. You're not manifesting the past. You're manifesting a new, bright, shiny future. And so, you know, just chill a little bit. Everything is fine. All right, let me see if there's any more cards. Okay, they want me to draw a graveyard card for you. So I know I've been off camera a little bit here, which is fine. I like to walk around and go sit on my favorite chair and chat with you. But this is the embroidered graveyard. We're going to get one last little card for you. Anything else for pile? Oh, just flew on the floor. Card number 16. Didn't we say we had 7s? That's another 7. We had 7. We had 2 7s with the 14. We've got another 7 with this 1 and 6. This is Truth Seeker. So let's read this for you. And then we are going to close out your reading. Card number 16. What is this? They're saying it's something to look forward to. We see, oh goodness, these moths. We see an Automaris Io moth providing eyes for our little lace skull. The Io moth has beautiful galaxy eye markings on its hind wings, and to me, they implied the ability to see greater wisdom. There we go, I told you the expansion. We often allow our perception to rest like lace over our eyes, clouding our sight. Here we go, clouding. Dampen our spirits and keep us small, but it's important to remember perception is, they're saying perception is not reality, but I believe perception is reality. It's a shortcut, but maybe this is perceptiveness like with your third eye. It's a shortcut our mind uses to conserve energy, but bad habits can be learned subconsciously. Sometimes we must break our perception down and reevaluate it so we can, I think this is just really basically saying some of the things we've already just said. What we tell ourselves matters, but we don't always use objective truth. Often our perspective is what we tell ourselves, and if we're not careful, we brainwash ourselves into a whole new truth. Question everything, what you hear others say, read online, your own thoughts and actions, and find the objective truth in everything. Make sure the only time your perception of life is being altered is by you and for your betterment. Yeah, it's the same exact message. It's like, you're not going back to old ways just because you see a wine commercial or whatever, or, you know, just because I don't know what you're seeing, but it's not always indicative. It's not always a foreshadowing. Okay. So just, you have to kind of change your perspective there a little bit and think that, you know, maybe what it's showing you is, wow, look how far I've come. look what I left behind, this behavior or this addiction or this thing I don't like anymore, or I had to get rid of, or I didn't, I really didn't like myself when I was like this. And look at me now. Look at me now. I'm this great, amazing, person. I've done all this soul work. I've really, really, really improved myself. Yay me. I think you need a little bit more like, oh yeah, yay me. Look how far I've come. A little bit of being proud of who you are, being proud of how far you've come, and knowing that it's all, it's all getting better from here. All right, let me take a deep breath. All right, so that is all we have for you, pile number 2. I want to thank you so much for joining me here, and we will see you all again soon in the astrals at TLC for the Soul. Take care.